welcome back. You're tuning into The Knitting Place. This is a special podcast. We're covering our trip to Rhinebeck, and we wanted to share with you some of the finds that we had.
Some of the fun that we had.
Yeah, fun and finds that we found, I guess, not whatever.
Found finds. Anyway, I'm Pam Sapp, Pam Sapp on Ravelry, and Pam Sapp on Instagram.
You can find me at The Knitting Place on Instagram, The Knitting Place on Ravelry, and The Knitting Place on Facebook.
There you go.
Alrighty, where should we start? We had a good weekend.
It was a nice weekend. I think we were blessed, very blessed with fabulous weather.
I think that's what really...
It wasn't even fall weather. It was summer weather, right?
It was hot. Honestly, 72 degrees.
It was, yeah. Well, the day would start around 45, 49, and then by about noon, you'd be up to 70.
Before noon.
Yeah, it was warm. But it was nice. It was lovely. The trees were beautiful. But, as you said, going up there, what did you say about the trees? They weren't even turning. They hadn't even turned yet. Right.
So, for those of you who are into the seasons, you still have time to catch.
Yes, if you haven't gotten to see the leaves yet, you still have time.
Definitely.
At least if you're in our area, maybe further up north, Maine or something like that. But it was really, it was a fun weekend. You always enjoy getting out of the city.
Yes.
Going to the country. For us, the country.
Right. Suburbs. From suburbia to the country.
Exactly.
It's fun driving up north. But I was surprised, actually, by the foliage, and actually I think we saw a little bit more on the way back.
Yeah, we were saying it almost seems in 2 days that it looked a little
definitely
like it had turned a little bit, but
definitely
that's always a fun trip. But of course, a fun trip to see the foliage, and then also to be around like-minded people, knitters, crocheters, crafters. What could be better?
It was a lot of fun. Everyone came in today asking how our weekend was, and I have to say 50% of it definitely was the weather, because if it was raining,
of course,
and we had to trek through the mud going from barn to barn, it just wouldn't have been the same.
Right.
We might have been able to wear a Rhinebeck sweater had I finished it.
Well, that's another story. But how many people didn't wear their sweaters because it was too hot?
It was truly disappointing in a way.
Yeah. Someone said that to me today.
If anything, they were taking it off. They were sweating, irritable.
Exactly. Tying it around their waist or something, which is a shame. Yes. Who wants to do that?
Yeah. But, I was guilty of that. Yeah. I took my blue sand cardigan and wrapped it around my waist.
And the funny story with Dinah and I, we talked on the podcast about what we might wear, but we saw what the weather forecast is, and we packed accordingly for the weekend. And the first day on Saturday...
Well, wait, before you talk about Saturday.
What?
Truth be told, I did not finish my Rhinebeck sweater.
You didn't?
I did not. No. So I needed a sweater. So I packed my blue sand cardigan. Correct. And unbeknownst to me, you packed your...
I did.
You packed your blue sand cardigan.
I did pack my blue sand cardigan, and what did we wear on Saturday?
Well, it turns out we were twinsies. We were both wearing the blue sand cardigan.
But we also wore like the same color.
We wore
black pants and a black top with a blue sand cardigan. And we did not plan it at all. And then the next day, what did we wear the next day?
I mean, I was in jeans and I had brown tones, and you also, I think, were...
Yes, I was wearing jeans, and I had my Caravaggio.
Right, which was a brown T-shirt and your Caravaggio sweater.
Right,
that was crazy. We were both wearing jeans and beige brown. Interesting that we had the same palette, same kind of ensemble
with
for
no
both
conversation about it at all. But listen, when you hang
Great
around
minds.
with someone long enough, what do they say, right?
Great minds think alike is what I have to say.
All weekend, people asked us if we were sisters. I said yes. I'm her younger sister.
That's okay.
I'm only teasing. That's an inside joke. That's an inside joke, yes. Anyway.
So, we were coordinated. That was a good thing.
That was a good thing. We got to wear some of our knitted goods anyway. I wore this on Friday night.
Yes, we got to India Untangled, and Pam was sporting her scarfy
My
thing.
Scarfy thing made out of hedgehog. By Hedgehog.
By Beata. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Mm-hmm. I was amazed at how many people didn't even recognize it or never heard of it.
They asked me what I was wearing. They loved it. What are you wearing? Which surprised me.
What about Tracy from the Grocery Girls? She's like, what are you wearing? Is that hedgehog? She knew that it was hedgehog.
That's right.
But she didn't know what pattern it was. So that was fun.
That's right. Well, we surprised even the grocery girls.
Cool.
And that was also one of our highlights, that we got to meet the grocery girls.
Yes, that was a treat.
And they gave us a pin.
Yes, a very cute pin. I actually asked them if I could wholesale their enamel pins.
Yes.
Tracy said she'd get back to us.
She said she ordered a ton of them. I don't know. I think that she's still going to get them in, and they're still going to go flying.
Probably will sell out after this weekend anyway.
We'll
They certainly got a lot of fame.
Exactly. So what do we have, Dinah? Do we have any?
Well, we have some goodies here to share with you. Let's start with our first night. I have to tell you, it was very relaxing. Our whole weekend was really relaxing. Usually we take off and we're going to TNNA and we're gearing up, ready to go. And it's, how much can you cover in a weekend? There's so much to see. We want to cover all ground, see as much as we can to find the best finds to buy for the shop. Here, we didn't have to get there by a certain time. We did not need to buy anything.
Right.
It was
more relaxing,
all leisure.
Mm-hmm.
So we weren't really under such pressure to get there by a certain time, although there were scheduled events. So the first event was Needles Up.
Which we did.
And we got to the venue. There were a few vendors.
It's a small venue.
A very small venue. I don't know why that was different from India Untangled.
Maybe they ran out of room at India Untangled. I don't know.
Could be,
that's
but
just me guessing.
There were definitely makers and crafters that were exhibiting at Needles Up, and I happened to get a cute little project bag, which is really not so little since my whole sweater actually fits
in there.
inside.
That's what I said to Dinah.
So this is as far as I got, guys.
She was almost done. Did you work on it last night?
No.
She got a sleeve done. The whole sleeve is done. Wait, hold on. And where's the other sleeve?
I'm shy one cuff, 6 inches.
You need a cuff. Well, that'll go fast, though.
So
I told Dinah she should not put the sleeves on, and then that would have been perfect for this weekend. You could have worn it. You wouldn't have been too hot.
But, me trying to be the overachiever, I had to try to get it done. And then I couldn't wear it. I could have worn it sleeveless, and it would have been more appropriate.
Yeah, you couldn't wear it with a 3.
So anyway, this is an adorable bag. She does not wholesale, but the company is called the Flat Squirrel. Fat.
Okay.
The Fat Squirrel. So if you want to check it out, very well made.
Yeah, it's a nice
cute little wristlet.
She had very nice fabrics too.
Nice prints. Yeah. She did say that if you want to clean it, if you want to take care of your project bag, to actually spot clean, not to wash. But this was one find that I got.
That's lovely.
At Needles Up.
Didn't you also get a pin there?
Which pin did I get?
Didn't you?
I did,
I
actually.
Saw it.
Thank you. I have it right here. It's here somewhere.
There it is. Yep.
Okay, you ready, guys? Here, you talk about that.
Oh, no. Well, she got, it says, we continued to knit on with confidence, easy. That must be a quote from Elizabeth Zimmerman. And
so it's a picture of her with her yarn ball and some needles in there. Right. Very cute.
Which is lovely. So Dinah can add that to her ever-growing collection of pins.
We are collecting pins,
We all have pins, right?
Yep.
So she got that at Needles Up.
Yeah.
And we got to Rhinebeck a little late. I believe India Untangled started, well, early was 4, but everyone else was 5.
Correct.
Right? And we got to, we probably got to Needles Up at about, but we got to town at 4:30. By the time we got there, it was 5. It was maybe.
I don't know. I think we got to Indy almost at about 6.
Oh, yeah, I think.
And the dust had settled. There was the parking lot was crowded.
It took us a while to get there.
It's intense. I mean, India Untangled, we actually heard from a lot of vendors that it was too crowded. A lot of customers were saying that if it was going to be in the same venue for next year, that they probably would not go just because it was a madhouse.
Yeah, we had someone call us who was there, said that they were leaving because it was just too crowded.
Right.
They couldn't see anything. Everything was going. There weren't a lot of selections left. But, of course, that didn't stop Dinah and I.
I've never been to India Untangled, so I had to go.
And I'm glad we went. It was to me, it was one of the highlights of the weekend, I thought.
Yes. Well, at Indy Untangled, you had makers, crafters that did not get into the actual venue at the New York Sheep and Wool Festival. Right. So I guess it's very competitive getting in, and it's closed out. And they needed... I mean, I don't know what the criteria is. Is it just space? They just don't have space to get in?
I'm not sure what it was. Well, someone was talking yesterday about the gal who started up Indy Untangled, and I really don't know enough about it to even speak about it. and be
I know that
accurate.
there isn't enough room, and I guess she established a
group.
way, yep,
Yep.
to feature more independent dyers and makers, and hence India Entangled.
But it was held at a Best Western Hotel.
Yes.
In some of the conference rooms. It wasn't that. I mean, really, it was 2 rooms, right? Two conference room areas.
2 conference room areas. And it was funny because people were joking that they probably overextended the fire limit. Like, it was that jam-packed.
It was very crowded. Yeah. But as I said, we got there later. It took us almost an hour to drive there.
Yes, the traffic was intense getting in, finding a parking.
Right.
Everything.
It was crazy.
It was just lengthy.
Yeah. And so we finally got in, and it was crowded, but it wasn't unbearable, and I'll be honest with you, the next thing I knew, it was over. Remember, they were announcing that it was almost over.
People were suggesting that we hit certain booths to get the signature colorways, and did you get,
And we were hearing that certain
companies had dyed certain colorways, or certain companies from overseas were exhibiting in some of the booths. And by the time we got to the booths, they were just completely sold out.
Right.
So we missed out.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's true. But we did really see some nice things. We met some great people.
We did.
We met people that we'd seen online,
yes.
And we had never seen the yarn in person, which is always, always like to touch it and feel it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And it was nice to actually talk to certain owners that we were thinking about bringing in, and we'll keep that maybe a surprise.
Yeah,
hopefully we'll
see.
We'll have some special news to release.
Exactly.
But let's share what we did pick up.
Sure, absolutely.
India Entangled.
Go ahead, you go, Diana.
You want me to start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, we had the pleasure of meeting Stephanie Jean, who is actually the owner of Asylum Fibers.
Now, that was a pleasant surprise.
Very pleasant.
Very
and we'll
pleasant
tell you
surprise.
why.
Go ahead.
Because she lives right here in Queens, New York.
Yeah.
And this is one of her yarns that I purchased to sample out. And I'm excited to cast on for a hat.
It's called Creepy Graffiti, the color.
Yes, it's a fun one. I actually have to, is that called Mental Mush?
Yeah, Mental Mush. That's the name of the yarn. It's a bulky yarn.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
It's a 70-30. I keep forgetting you get the cashmere.
I did get the cashmere blend.
Yeah, 70 merino, 30 cashmere.
That's why I want to make a hat. So I thought this would be fun, especially, do you want to grab one of the hot pink pom-poms?
Yes, yeah.
I thought if I cast on and knit a cute hat, this is a pretty colorway. And I don't know if you could see the acid, like the hot pink in there. It's just really, really pretty. The colors are bright and fun, and I love the black in there. And then, of course, when the hat's knit up, that pink pom-pom will just look really great.
The little color tipping on the edge would look fabulous.
So we're looking forward.
She was lovely, young girl, right?
Yes, we're looking forward to working with her. She was excited about maybe offering some classes here. She does some brioche, and she offers some beautiful yarns, and we're thinking of doing a trunk show and hosting Stephanie here in the shop.
So it's nice to have someone who's local.
Absolutely. So we're very excited about that.
Shout out to Stephanie.
Yes, thank you if you're watching. We're looking forward to this one.
That was a fun one. That was fun.
Do you want to cover Julie? Julie Asseline.
Oh, yes. This is lovely, too, Julie Asseline. We don't carry this in the shop.
No, but this is another new one that we're thinking of carrying.
Yeah.
It's a yarn from Canada. Now, Julie Asseline is the owner.
And this was her Road to Rhinebeck colorway. Let me turn it so I can read it. It's 75 merino, 15 cashmere, 10 silk.
Mm-hmm. Decadent.
And, lovely. 400 yards. Look at those colors. That's beautiful.
So I'm looking forward to casting this beauty on.
What are you going to do with this, Dinah?
I don't know.
It's called Fino, this particular yarn of hers.
I like the colorway. I may have to do a Reina.
I was just going to say a Reina. This would look lovely in a Reina. It's classic.
Yes.
It would look lovely.
Yes, and I think the stitch definition would look really knit up beautifully.
You'd have a little bit of the color change, a little bit of the speckle going on. I like that. Definitely the Reina.
So keep an eye out.
Yep. So that's a new one that we got.
We'll see if we can get Julie into the shop. She said that she's closed all accounts, but
you never know.
She said we'll see. I should contact her.
Try, right?
Yep.
What is this one? This is one of the first places we went to. We were told to go there, right?
Yep. That was in the India Entangled booth as well. This is Tuscan Knits.
Correct.
And this is a beautiful fingering weight yarn.
It's 100% superwash merino. If you can see that, it's a great colorway. I can't
Very
read
pretty.
the
Very
name.
subtle speckle.
I can't say that. Pigwidgeon?
Pigwidgeon.
Pigwidgeon?
Yep.
400 yards as well.
It's a single ply merino. Lovely. It is a superwash. This one is new for me. Never really worked with this one before. And I really liked her color palette, and I was attracted to...
she had a great color palette.
Yes. The color palette is really what drew us in.
Right.
And...
nice, classic, rich... I can't explain it. It was not a crazy colorway. Beautiful.
No. Just elegant. It's really the best way to describe it.
I think she's from Seattle or on the West Coast.
I truly don't remember.
I know she's from the West Coast. I believe it's Seattle.
Yes, died in the countryside near Seattle. Very good.
Right.
Yeah. So that was another
new find.
Yeah.
A new manufacture for us. What else was there, Dana?
That we covered at Indy?
I don't have it.
You purchased something.
Yes, I don't have it with me, unfortunately, and I apologize for that.
Already cast on?
No, I didn't. I didn't cast on. Please, I'm not that good. It was I got it from Magpie, right?
Magpie Fibers.
Magpie Fibers, and it's 2 skeins, and it's a mosaic cowl. I love to do mosaic. It's a favorite technique of mine, and the pattern is called Salt Point. Is it by Dinah? You wrote it down, didn't you?
I didn't write down who
Dammy.
I think it was by Dammy. Dammy Hunter?
I think it was Hunter. Dammy Hunter. And I got 2 contrasting colors, and it's done in the round, and it makes about a cowl that comes about to here.
Very attractive.
And it's doubled up, lovely.
Yes.
So I'll show it maybe on a future podcast. I didn't bring it with me, though.
But if you're interested, you can always look up the pattern.
I love the pattern.
Yes,
it's great.
It was very pretty.
Very nice. And we didn't realize there was a place. We realized later on.
As we were driving home, we passed Salt Point.
Salt Point, that it's an actual place, I guess, in New York, obviously. And
it's just interesting.
That was interesting. Yep. We didn't know that.
So that was another find. Did you get anything else at Indy Untangled?
I think that's all I got. You got something. Did you buy something from
that's all
at the end of the night? You didn't buy anything?
No, we had stopped by Renee's booth.
I thought you bought something there.
Nope. Nope. Okay. She said to contact her. Right. But Renee from Spun Right Round was there. Her yarns are also beautiful. She is just she's brilliant with her dyeing technique and her dyeing. Yes, her colors just really blend rather smoothly. She's very good at dyeing gradients, not necessarily a gradient that's just shaded, but speckles that fade.
She had some great kits there.
Yes, she had beautiful kits, and we're hoping to maybe work with her and collaborate with her and getting some kits in for the shop. So you can keep an eye out for Spun Right Round.
Because even if you try to put something together, sometimes it would never be as...
She's fluid.
As
she is very fluid. I mean, her recipe, the way she's brilliant.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that.
Yep.
Very cohesive. You can always do a color melt. We've done plenty of color melts where the colors play off of one another. But she happens to do it in a way where the colors are the same, but different.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's just interesting.
Right. So she was lovely.
Yep.
Again, we'd always wanted to see her yarn. We'd never had the opportunity, so now we have.
Yes, and it was nice to see it, feel it,
and get
it.
to meet the owner and speak to them as well, which is important too.
Definitely. So that was our Indy Untangled.
And we also met some yarn shop owners there as well, didn't we?
Yes. We were excited to actually meet Kathy's daughter, Heather.
Yes, Kathy from Knot House Yarns.
Yes, from Knot House. Yep, she's up in Frederick, Maryland, or down, I should say.
Down in Frederick, Maryland.
Over in Frederick, Maryland.
Yeah. We'd met Kathy at TNNA, and you paid a visit to her shop this summer. But we'd never met her daughter, Heather, and we got that opportunity.
Yes. Hi, guys, if you're watching. We miss you.
And we got to see Lisa and Melissa from Eastbed.
Yeah. And they came with Francoise, which was really nice.
Yes,
so we got to see her too.
Yes, that was lots of fun.
Yes, we met her at TNNA last year. So that was fun, catching up with old friends.
Yep.
and making new friends, of course. So that was a lot of fun.
And at that point, we were exhausted. We said, it's time to go get some rest.
Well, right. When Indy ended, and then we hung out with Kathy and Heather. We had dinner and some drinks. Are you there?
There we are. We lost you for a second. Yes, we did have dinner with Kathy and Heather. That's
Sorry,
right.
I have to check something.
And that was really the end of our first day. It was a long day because obviously we had to drive up there, and Dinah had worked before, as I had as well. So we went back to recharge our batteries so we could have a fresh day the next day.
I was under the impression that I would get my 2 cuffs done.
Yeah, she thought she was going to start knitting. What time we got back to the room? It must have been like 11.
11?
She's going to start knitting her sleeves.
I did not get
As a matter of fact, I took a picture of Dinah sitting in bed the next morning she had her sweater laying over her and had like a half a sleeve and no sleeve. It was very funny. But anyway, so the next day we were well rested on our way to the fairgrounds to Rhinebeck.
But again, I will say again, we got to sleep in a little bit.
Right.
We didn't have to rush.
We didn't have to rush.
We didn't have to be there when the doors opened. Right. So we had our breakfast.
Yes.
It was all leisure. Yeah, it was nice.
Did some knitting.
Yeah.
And then we headed over to the fairgrounds.
I didn't have to get there early because I didn't have my Rhinebeck sweater.
That's right.
I didn't have to meet Christy, although I wanted to.
Well, you still had your blue sand on.
I did, and that was nice because we ran into a few women who were wearing their blue sand cardigan.
That's right. Yeah, that's so it's a lovely sweater. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, so that was what happened on Saturday at Rhinebeck. What did we see there? What was the main attraction? I mean, we got in. We really just got a lay of the land. Kind of really just walked barn by barn, making our way around.
Yes, leisurely, trying to take it all in. I think we finally met up. There were a couple. I mean, there was the meetup
on the hill.
We did a podcast meetup.
Yeah, that was fun. I won a skein of yarn.
Yes, tell them about that skein.
Who was the gal? I have the button. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Knitting in Our Jeans came by. They have a podcast, and she had
I didn't check them out yet.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out yet. She had a little bag that had her pin in it. Her little pin. This was her pin.
She had a very cute idea. She was walking around with a bag full of pins, and on the back of the pin, I think she must have taken nail polish.
Yeah, she took nail polish. Dinah didn't get the one with the nail polish, but I did. And I won. She had skeins of yarn with her, so she pulled that.
Who was the company? I forgot.
There's no label on the yarn.
Oh, really?
There's nothing on the yarn. I was looking at that last evening.
It was a very sweet idea.
And I got a skein, of course. I'm in New York. What better a color? It's a gray fingering weight yarn.
Lovely.
I always find a use for that. So that was fun. And we got to meet, we met people that we didn't know, of course, people that we knew. Like
her.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to, I have her button. I'm definitely going to check out, and I'm giving her a shout out here, Knitting in Our Jeans. She's got a podcast. Check them out if you like listening to podcasts. And I can't promise what she has to deliver, but I will check it out. Yeah.
Wasn't there someone? I see the marker you have there. Is that the woman who came by and gave you the marker on the hill?
No, this is from Kathy and Heather.
Oh,
she actually gifted me.
That's very sweet.
KH Knot
It's like a little glass marker, right?
Yep.
Well, someone came up, and I don't have it with me.
Thank you.
But on the hill, someone gave me again a little card.
This one. Is it in here?
No.
I have it.
You have it? I don't have mine.
It has a little glass.
She also does. It's something about a flame and a something. And she made these little tiny markers. Flame and something. There it is. Yep.
So many goodies.
What's it called? Flame and Fiber.
Flame and Fiber podcast.
Right. And there's a little marker that she made with, I guess, when you do glass.
She can also be found on YouTube.
Yeah.
So this is very sweet. This is what she handed out on the hill.
Which was nice.
And we certainly got an education.
So meeting
next
people
year,
like
we're going to have to come in.
We didn't know we were going to hand them. We were joking that we should have given
I didn't have business cards.
We didn't have business cards. Right, exactly.
For our cards.
Right.
And very cute.
We got to see, who did we see on there? Oh, we saw Skein Cocaine.
Yes, we got to see Gina.
Which was lovely. She had come up Saturday. We got to meet her. And
Gina, I forgot to ask you what you got at Saks. You looked rather busy.
Yeah. She was doing a video the evening before.
The live video, which is very cute.
And then a few other people that I've seen on podcasts. We saw them on the hill. and that was fun.
Definitely a lot of fun.
Right. And
so you're basically, putting a face or meeting the people that you're following live, and then you get to meet new people who are, running podcasts, and they're advertising for themselves.
And
it's really nice.
We did meet quite a few people all day on Saturday that were either people who were customers here at the shop or from various places, right? We kept running into them.
I mean, we're newbies. I was surprised at how many people recognize us from our podcast, which is really flattering, or our unboxings on Instagram, social media.
Yep.
So thank you. That was really sweet and touching.
Sweet.
Yes.
It's very nice.
We appreciate your continued support and following.
Yeah, exactly. Keep watching.
Yeah.
I wanted to go meet the author Clara Parks on Saturday. She was in the book area.
Merit, was it
Merit? Yeah, it was Merit. Merit Books, maybe. Anyway, I don't know how I came upon Clara, maybe 2 months ago on Instagram. She had written her latest book is called A Stash of One's Own, and I started following her on Instagram. And I guess because she's an author, when she does her Instagram posts, they're very interesting.
Poetic. She writes
and they
beautifully.
flow. So she had a book tour, about a 14-day book tour that took her from Maine to LA. And she was on trains and planes, and it was I really enjoyed watching her Instagram story. So I was excited that she was there signing books. So I was able to meet her, and I was able to get one of her books, which I'm glad I did on Saturday because on Sunday they were sold out. Yeah. So she was kind enough to sign it. And what this book is, it's a book. It's a stash of one's own. She has stories that are written by various yarn people.
It might be backwards, guys. We'll put the book down just in case.
Right. And she talks about, it's essays from various people. And the first essay I read was from Meg Swanson. And they all talk about their stash and their thoughts about their stash and what their stash means and so on and so forth. So I enjoyed that. You got one too, didn't you?
I did get one. Yeah. I certainly did. That sounded very interesting. We were actually thinking of maybe running a book club. So if you're interested,
let us know.
Let us know.
We can even have the book club and do like a FaceTime or a reading or something like that. Fun. It was fun because we all have stashes, right?
Whose stash is bigger than whose? Exactly. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Exactly. So in any event, that was fun. I enjoyed that on Saturday very much.
That was fun.
Yeah. But what happened at that time? So that took us up until about 2:00 or so. And how long did it take us to get
starving.
Lunch? How long did it take us to get?
So, speaking of lunch, they all left me in the lurch waiting online.
Yeah, the lines were huge.
The lines were enormous.
So we were with. Actually, as it turned out, we had run into Heather and Kathy.
Right.
And they weren't waiting online. I said, I am not waiting on that line, but Dinah waited on the line.
Yeah,
I got the short line. I got a pretzel. I
had my mind set on falafel, and wouldn't you know it, I ended up ordering 4 orders. They all ate falafel, and I was...
Thank you, Dinah. But you know how it is when you're walking all day and you're walking and you sit down for whatever it is, a half an hour. It's like you can't get up, or you get up. We did though. To our credit, we did get up and continue to walk around.
Yes.
But at that point, I think we were kind of
fizzled out.
A little bit fizzled out. Yeah.
We ended up slowing down a bit, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. That was the advantage of going for the weekend.
Yep.
So we could come back the
next
day,
right. Which was really nice.
Oh, you didn't talk about what else did we do? Didn't you get your ring on Saturday? Or did you do that on Sunday?
I did that on Saturday.
Right? Mm-hmm. That was a good find.
So while we were in Building C, the infamous Building C,
yep.
I had been following and watching some of the podcasts from Christy Glass Knits, and she had covered a woman who does jewelry from Maloho's Jewelry, and I am the proud new owner of a new gauge ring.
Now you're going to say, what is a gauge ring? Show them, Diane.
Not only is it beautiful,
yep,
but it's also a needle gauge. So check this out. This might be too big.
That's too big for you.
Yeah.
Let me get one. That's smaller for you.
This is a cable needle, but check this out. So depending on the size, the needle actually goes on top of the circumference
when
of the
it's the
ring.
correct size.
Right. If it doesn't make it through, like so. It doesn't go in. But it doesn't go in straight. It goes in on an angle so that you can get to check the full range of the needle gauge. So it's really brilliant. I absolutely love it. I fell in love with it when I saw it on Christy's podcast, and I was obsessed, and I had to get it. So I was so excited.
So that's what we did. We did the things we knew we had to do on Saturday, right?
We
That was
had a
the first things
checklist.
we
Yes.
did, right?
I knew she was going to be there, and we actually spoke to her, and we hope to maybe organize a trunk show with her and have her in the shop or work somehow.
She also had cute cuff bracelets
That were
Copper bracelets.
inscribed. Mm-hmm. She had
It was different.
Things.
It was
It's
different.
very different.
And as a knitter, we always love those things, right? A necklace that has something on it, or a bracelet, right?
She does have a needle gauge necklace, actually.
She does. Yeah.
Yep.
It's lovely.
So we'll see. Hopefully we'll have another new goodie to bring to the shop.
Yeah, that was fun. So that really covered our day Saturday.
Yes, and then it was all about where we were going to eat.
Correct. That's right. Well, again, the area is very crowded. So, trying to get in someplace if you don't have a reservation is not...
Well, right. We didn't plan this well.
Right. Well,
I mean, next year will be a lot better. We'll probably go up again next year for the weekend because that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll probably make reservations in advance,
right.
knowing that we'll probably be going for the weekend. And yeah, everything is packed. It's a beautiful town. It's charming. It's quaint. They have coffee shops and restaurants, and it's lovely.
Yeah, it was very nice.
It was really lovely. So, why are you looking at me?
I was
like
just
that?
thinking, when you're saying it was lovely, I was thinking about when we first got there on Friday, we wanted a cup of coffee. We had just gotten there, and we were looking around to where we could get a cup of coffee.
They closed.
Well, there was a great shop, and that was called Bread Alone. So, of course, the name drew us to the shop because it was bread. Who doesn't love bread, right? Bread and coffee. But they were closed. They had just closed. So we're looking around. A woman came up to us and said, "Can I help you with something?" We must have had this puzzled look on our face. And so, as it turned out, there was a cute little sweet shop across the street that had coffees. So we did that, which was very nice. The people were very sweet. Yes. That's what I was just thinking in my mind.
Nothing like a pick-me-up in the late afternoon.
Exactly. Well, usually when the shop closes, we have our coffee.
Yes.
We hadn't had our coffee yet on Friday, so
no, but that was perfect timing.
Right.
Anyway, we had a lovely evening Saturday night.
Yeah, we did. We went to dinner.
We went to dinner and we had drinks and we sat around in it again with the women from Knot House. Yeah. We had some good times. And Sunday it was back again. I still didn't finish my Rhinebeck sweater.
She tried. You finished one sleeve Saturday.
I did.
Saturday night, Sunday morning, but not the other one.
No. And I have to tell you, it was weighing on me like a ton of bricks. And the moment I said, "That's it, it's not my Rhinebeck sweater," I felt so liberated.
You did. You felt better.
Oh, I felt like I could breathe. I put it away. I was just like, that was it. It just wasn't happening.
Right. You felt better after that.
I did. I felt like the angst was, I felt like I was disappointing all the viewers and the people and everybody that I've been talking about it. And, I was disappointing myself first and foremost. But in addition, everybody else. And I did want to have it done, but I didn't. And it's okay.
It'll be done this week.
It'll be done. And when it's done, I'll wear it. It's not even...
It's not even cold enough
cold enough to wear it. Excuse me,
Exactly.
it's too warm. Exactly. So I guess I have a little more time. But it did set me back. It set me back because it didn't do my homework for Barbara's class. I'm sorry, Barbara.
Time is on a tight schedule.
Yes, too much knitting.
But anyway, we had a nice day Sunday. It was even more relaxed, I think, than Saturday was because we took our time getting over there. We didn't rush. And
yes, we showed up even later.
Exactly. And we walked around. We kind of looked at some things. We knew a few things we wanted to see and check out. We did that, right? And that was really you got that great basket on Saturday.
Yes.
Sunday.
Check this out, guys.
She got a great basket.
African basket.
Look at that.
I mean, it's empty now.
But it will be
filled.
How
much yarn can go in there. Oh boy. Love it. Absolutely love that baby.
Yeah. So you got that. You got some other yarn on Sunday, right?
Yes. I got some yarn from Dragonfly Fibers. And I have to say, we did do a walkthrough. We walked through all the barns. We walked through all the buildings. Yeah. And I think the one that stood out most is probably Dragonfly Fibers. I like their fibers because the colors were really intense. The colors are saturated. I don't know if you can tell here, but it's not just, it seems more than just an overlay of color. Let's pull up another one. I don't know what color that one is. This one is called Pixie, this first one.
Tree of Life.
Tree of Life? Or is
well, the yarn is Pixie's the yarn.
Pixie's the yarn, excuse me.
Tree of Life is
Tree of Life is the color. Right. Sorry, this one I think is called African Flower, African Daisy. I mean, look at how rich these colors are. Mm-hmm. How gorgeous is that?
It's pretty. Yeah. It looks great
really,
on screen.
Really pretty.
Looks great on the
and
computer.
And it's almost got a sheen to it, and it doesn't have silk. I believe it's 100% superwash, right?
Yes, it's 100% superwash.
Look at this color. I mean, look at that. How
What's
amazing.
That called? That's called Aurora Borealis.
Wow.
Nice.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the saturation of color. Unbelievable. This one's gorgeous. This one's called Bad Moon Rising. Got purples and orange. Almost like a flame. Look at that. Oh, love.
Very pretty.
So I bought a couple of different colors, different palettes. I'm going to knit it up and see what that feels like.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll let you know. Keep an eye out.
Yep.
That was something that we
That was a nice find. Yeah, you like that one.
Yes, I did. What else can we talk about? It wasn't all about yarn there.
Well, that's the nice thing about Rhinebeck, too. If, there's other stuff there. There's lots of food.
A lot of food.
And then they even have
they even had artisan food.
Yes, and they even had a cooking class going on.
Yes.
And that was new. I hadn't seen that before.
They had some demonstrations.
They had a demo going on. They had wine.
Cheese, pickles.
Jams,
jellies.
Right. All different things.
Sweets.
Yeah.
Lots of sweets.
Lotions, which was nice. And
soap bars, lanolins.
Yeah, which was very nice.
Lip balms.
But what we found was this. What excited us? It's did he just have
I love
spoons?
to cook.
Yeah,
you
tell
like
him
to cook.
I do love to cook, and the reason we were intrigued with this, tell him what this does, Dinah.
This is a stirring spoon. See that? I don't know if you could see it.
It's got a slot in it.
Yes. And this ridge here,
mm-hmm.
This rests on the pot, on the rim of the pot. So you're stirring, and then you could just set it in on the rim and it just sits. So you're not necessarily putting it down, making anything dirty. It just sets in on the pot. I thought that was kind of clever.
And Dinah being a good mother, and I was very intrigued by this because we both have a lefty child.
I have one lefty child.
I have one lefty child. And many times I don't even stop to think about them using things that it's some things are difficult because of the fact that they're left-handed.
Right.
They have lefty utensils. So Dinah got
brilliant.
a stirrer for her daughter that is lefty. And I got one for my daughter as well. She probably will never see this, so she'll still be surprised.
Exactly. I was just going to say, and
Danielle won't see this.
So she'll be completely surprised.
My Katie won't see it. So anyway, so that was nice as well. But this is, tell them what this, let's see if they can guess. What do you think this is?
Now, it's medieval.
I know, it does. It looks like something you'd anoint someone with, or something you would, I don't know. But tell them what it does, Dinah.
This is amazing. This actually is used for the oven rack.
Yes.
So these grooves are meant to insert on the rack of the oven, a hot oven, and you just pull the rack out.
Yes.
You don't need oven mitts anymore until you take out the tray, of course. But how cool is that? I thought this was so clever. You could push it in,
and
pull it out.
Do you know how many times I've burnt myself doing that?
No more burns. So we're so excited. The name of the company is Chester P. Basil's, and I'm sure they have an online store.
He does. I asked him that.
And
I did ask him
great quality. I believe it was cherry wood.
Yes,
we had asked him.
Wood, yes.
Everything is done really nicely. So
he had a bunch of different
cheese plates.
He had those big salad forks that you can toss the salad with.
And tongs. You had the
I got these. I don't have them here, but it almost looks like a clothespin, right at the top, like the clothespin spring, at the top, but then the long things. And you can grab them, and you can. He said a bacon turner. We could turn anything with it. It doesn't have to be bacon.
Absolutely.
So I got one of those as well for myself, which is cute. So you see, you can get everything at Rhinebeck.
You don't have to just
pickles. They had pickles in there. The pickles look very good. different kinds of garlic. Animals. They had different kinds of garlic.
They had so many things.
Yep.
So many things.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's a great place to go with the family.
Right.
There was enough for everybody.
Right. I did get something, actually. Where's the other one? I will show these. We did get these, right? I got this yesterday.
Yes.
These are needles. They're wooden needles. I'm not doing this right.
Is that by Indian River?
I believe it's Indian River. Can you see that? Each needle size has a different copper tip. Mine has a feather.
Or end cap. It's not the tip.
It's right. Yes, it's the end cap.
End cap.
This is a size 6, a 10-inch size 6, and it's a feather on a size 6.
So all 6s will have feathers.
Correct, on a straight needle. He sells straights and circulars.
Mm-hmm.
The needle is a hexagon shape.
You probably won't see that. But do you see this?
A bit you can see when I turn it.
The straight sides.
Yep. And it's got
spherical.
A beautiful point. Where's the point? Look at that point. Look at that point. It's a great point. So I got this to try it out. And I'm not a wooden needle person, really. Right?
You don't love wood?
No, I really don't love wood. I'll be honest with you. I don't.
I guess you didn't get the pun.
Oh. Dinah. It's a knitting podcast. Anyway.
Oh
Dinah amuses herself.
Sorry, guys.
Anyway, so I wanted to try a pair. I had thought that it might be a good gift to ask for, a set of circulars.
Interchangeable circulars.
Interchangeable circulars. And the whole thing, the whole concept on these needles is that because it's a hexagon shape, it's when you're holding on to a circular needle, it's
any needle,
more stress on your hand.
Because they're round.
Because they're round to hold on to it. The other point that he said, the other thing is that it's easier because of the shape of the needle. If you're going in to do a knit 2 together or a purl 2 together, because of the shape of the needle, there's a space for you. I don't want to say a space. I'm not explaining it properly, but it's easier to get into to do the knit 2 together. Did I say it right, Dinah? Or no?
Yes, he did talk about the ease, but I think the biggest thing is his biggest selling point was that because it has the 6 sides, when you are actually knitting, when you are knitting on a spherical needle, his argument was that, and I'm twisting the needle, but you can't really see the rotation, is that the needle turns. And when the needle turns, we tend to grip the needle tighter so we don't lose or loosen our stitches. But because this has 6 sides, there's less
stress on your hand.
Less stress because you're not gripping it as tight. It's not as slippery.
Right.
Probably getting a more even tension.
Correct.
And he mentioned that with the slope, because of the slope, you can actually might find a little more ease in doing your knit 2 togethers when you go to do your decreases.
Right. Exactly.
So Pam is testing him out. He's an individual craftsman. He doesn't sell wholesale.
Not right now. He may.
He might.
He may. He said,
but he's maxed out on production. And if you are interested, it's called Indian River, and you should check them out. They make a classy needle.
So what I have done is
they're not cheap.
I have put my gradient band cowl on the 6s. I went off my circular needle, and I'm trying it now on these, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm excited. That made me very happy. Nothing like a new pair of needles, too.
Well, you've been thinking about them for a while.
Right. And I am not an interchangeable. I usually don't use interchangeables. But I might try these. I might try them.
Well, it was exciting. You were excited to actually see him there. I think it was Lisa from East Bass Tricot. She had mentioned it.
Yes, she had mentioned
it. She bought a pair.
She bought a pair of circulars. And then when we passed his booth on Sunday, we really wanted to stop in and see it. So anyway, that's what I did.
We actually forgot about it, and we were lucky.
We just ran into it. Otherwise, we would have totally forgotten. Yeah. There's so much to see, and if you don't make notes, you're going to miss something.
Yes, definitely.
What is that I see on your computer, Dinah? What does that say?
What? Oh, we picked up a few buttons.
What did yours say?
Well, this one says, "This is how I roll." Can you see that? It's going to be it's yarn and needles. And yes, I love to roll with yarn and needles. Yeah. And it's probably backwards, so I apologize.
Well, I'll show you mine backwards, but it says, I'm working on my PhD in knitting. Project's half done. I just thought that was very humorous.
I've got plenty of those. I wonder when I can
Well,
graduate. When do I graduate?
You got to get those projects done.
Yes.
Anyway, so we picked up a couple of buttons for fun. We thought that was cute, so we did that as well.
Okay. Let's talk about these two beauties.
No, these are...
A trip is not a trip without thinking about Joan and Barbara.
Yes.
So we had to come home with something for them.
Yeah.
And we picked up 2 skeins, one for each of them. We were kind of drawn to color, and we were trying also to find something that was unique to Rhinebeck.
Correct.
So
the first one, it's from Dancing Leaf Farm, is where we got this, and this is their Rhinebeck color. Pretty, right? Look at those colors.
It's called Targaryen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a special color that they dyed up for Rhinebeck.
And this one is 85% wool and 15 silk. And it's a DK weight, right? I believe it's a DK weight. It's 220 yards. Yes, it's DK weight. But those colors are great, right?
We thought it would be perfect for Joan.
Yeah,
so
these are colors that she would like, right? And
so it'll be interesting to see what she uses that one for.
And Barbara, we got
the sock yarn, right?
A sock yarn.
Weight yarn?
Yeah. 373 yards. Fingering weight. Is it 100%?
I don't remember. I have to put on my glasses.
I guess. Right?
Well, this palette was definitely for Barbara.
Yeah. Lavenders,
pinks, purples, very pale, soft. It's fingering weight. And the material is, it doesn't say. Superwash merino.
I think it's 100%.
No, it's not funny. Usually they put that on the label, but they don't. Well, it's a superwash merino. I would imagine it's 100% superwash, so that's lovely. Barbara loves to knit socks, so maybe this will inspire her.
Yeah,
to knit cozy socks from Rhinebeck.
Or maybe she'll do hats for the granddaughters. You never know. Lovely.
You never know. Well, we were in one booth. What booth was this? I don't remember.
Oh, I don't remember either.
Let's see if it's on the label on the back. No. But here's a cute publication. It's called Mad Color, and it's probably coming up backwards. It's from Tin Can Knits, and there's some bold, bright, modern knits in here.
Yeah,
with beautiful
great
colors, yeah. So I was inspired. I'm sure most of the patterns that are in here are available on Ravelry, but I love the book. And
well, sometimes the nice thing we were saying, even though they are probably available on Ravelry, you can go into the book and show them something that's cute in there, like that little baby
look
sweater.
at these beautiful, here's an adorable little one. Blanket, a cute little colorwork sweater. This is a great hat. These are some great hats.
Yep.
I don't know. Color's pretty big right now, whether it's Fair Isle.
We had a customer who made this blanket.
Grace made it.
Grace made that blanket. What was that?
Let me show you.
I don't know what it's called now.
I think it was called Pop Up.
There it is.
Hold on. Here it is.
Lovely.
What's it called? Hold on, guys. Pop blanket.
Pop blanket.
Look at how pretty that is.
Isn't that great?
So I had posted that on Instagram. Very nice. So a fun book. I enjoyed it. And
sometimes you have to have the book in your hand. It's different than having it, on your phone or on the computer or something. You just like to have the book. Right?
Absolutely. I'm a fan of books.
So then guess what Diana did at the end of the day yesterday? Guess where we went to have lunch before we left?
Well, I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to stand online again. The lines were long. No. And I didn't want food truck food. So we went into town.
And we ate at Bread Alone. We
Since
finally ate Bread Alone. And it was lovely. We had a great time.
Yes.
We sat, we relaxed, did a little
knitting. Delicious food. It was kind of like farm to table. They had fresh ingredients. It was really nice.
We fortified ourselves for the trip home.
Yes. So if you're ever in Rhinebeck, you should try to hit Bread Alone.
It's fun.
But I do want to say a couple of things. No, that's okay. You know what? We met a few people that, one of the fun things about Rhinebeck is you get to talk to different people. And I asked a few people some of their favorite finds. And you certainly know what our finds were because we just shared them with you. But I do want to talk about, on the first day we sat at the picnic table and I had asked the women that were sitting next to us. And one of the women, Joy Gennady, she had recommended a book she had found intriguing. It was Extreme Double Knitting Now, I haven't done that in a long time, so I went looking for the book at that Merritt
bookstore,
book booth. They didn't have it, so I did not find the booth who actually had it, but I will look it up. I don't know if that was the book that she actually got. It might have been the first one, and they had a second one. But if you ever want to try double knitting, that is Joy Donati's recommendation. Then we also met a lovely woman, Denise Illings. She's from Chicago, and she had recommended us to go see Fox Hill Farm. They used Cormo Shape, and we did make it to their booth, and we checked it out. So thank you for the shout out. And your recommendation, it was lovely.
The yarn is lovely. It
was nice.
It's a rustic yarn, but it has a softness to it.
Yes. And they had different weights, which was also nice. It was the same breed, but across different weights. We found that some of the booths only had one weight yarn.
Yep.
So it was interesting that they had different ones. Then we met Amy Bonanata. I hope I pronounced your name right, Amy. She's also from Chicago, and she recommended that we go see Sincere Sheep.
Which we did.
And we did find Sincere Sheep, so thank you for your recommendation. We made it to their booth. They have lovely fingering weight yarns, and, beautiful hand-dyed colors. And it was interesting to see their booth, so thank you for that recommendation. And then we also met Marilyn Wishnowitz. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right again. Marilyn, if you're watching, thank you. We spoke about Spun Right Round, and that's who we opened with. That we spoke to Renee from India Untangled. And Marilyn knew exactly what she wanted. She was going and looking for yarn for the Comfy Cardi by Andrea Mowry.
That's right, yeah.
So she knew exactly what she wanted, and she went straight for that booth, and she looked for her DK, and it was nice because Renee had kits already built in, made up for that. And she also agreed with us that she liked her dyeing color work. And it was fun. It was fun hearing what other people found as their favorites, and it drew us to different booths that we didn't necessarily...
It's really impossible to see everything. So if you speak to someone else and you find out what they saw that was interesting, you know, you can check it out as well.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so much going on. It's overstimulating. If you don't have a plan and you don't know what you're looking for, after a while, everything just starts to look the same.
Correct.
So it was fun to ask, what some people's favorites were. And it was fun watching, just, I don't know, being there, seeing what people were wearing, what other knitters are making, what other crocheters are crocheting.
That's a big part of it, too, is just looking at what other people are wearing. Their sweaters, their ponchos, whatever
what's
it
on
might
their
be,
needles.
their shawls, exactly what they're working on, and even maybe what they're using, what they're knitting it out of, what yarn they're using.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. These ladies we met at the hotel,
it was those three.
We were so jealous. We were so jealous because they were from Chicago, and
two are from Chicago and one was from New Jersey.
That's right.
And they had met at a knitting retreat.
Oh, see, so they have this bond. Right, their love of knitting, and so they were at Rhinebeck this week, and they are going on Thursday to a retreat in Michigan.
Was it Michigan? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's Michigan. Yeah, it's Michigan. Definitely Michigan. For 4 days. I think it's Friday, Saturday. So they're going Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They're leaving Sunday. And it's done by, I forget who's doing it. There's one person. I don't remember now who's doing it. And the classes, and it includes everything.
I'm trying to think of who's doing it.
I can't remember who's doing it now.
Someone who had a shop or someone
I don't remember now. Anyway.
Ran the India Untangled in Minneapolis?
I don't remember now.
Michigan? I don't remember.
So many different stories. But the point is, we're jealous.
We botched that up.
We want to go.
Are misinforming, but they are on another retreat, and we're very envious. You guys,
I don't care where they are. I'd like to be on the knitting retreat with them.
Call us for the next retreat.
They said they've been to one. They went to one in Tennessee.
Yes,
in Nashville, I think it was during the summer, and we talked about the Ann Budd retreat, and I said, well, we think we should retire and just do knitting retreats. I can make a job out of it. Very easily.
I'd go retreat hopping in a second.
Exactly. So in any event, that was, again, fun meeting all these people, It was a lot of fun.
Catching up with old friends, making new friends.
Right.
I have to say, I was blown away by this one project.
Which one?
The woman wearing that gorgeous scarf. It was called Mystic Lantern.
Oh, that was gorgeous.
Oh my
I
God.
have that on my phone.
Ladies, we are starting a new class.
It's crochet.
It's crochet.
Calling all crocheters.
Yes, this is big. This was absolutely beautiful. As a matter of fact, I posted it. I believe it came up in the slideshow. It's called Mystic Lanterns.
Right.
It's by Jane Crow.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful crocheted pattern. They're crocheted motifs, and then you put them together.
Correct.
Yes, you crochet them together.
That's right. I believe it was the, if you go to Crochet Favorites, the top crochet projects on Ravelry, it was the 6th project the other day. So
unbelievable.
It's there.
Unbelievable.
She used 20 colors of Madeline Toshelite.
And guess what? We are fully stocked in unicorn tails.
Yes. Well,
so this is the perfect time.
It could be a stash.
You certainly can bring your stash.
Yep. Lovely.
Definitely.
Lovely. And we did see another one too now, and I wasn't prepared. I don't have it. Maybe on the next podcast. Someone was telling us, I think it was Kathy at Knot House was telling me that her customers did that other crochet shawl. It was like layered. We were looking at it. Yeah, we were looking at it Saturday evening. And the colors were lovely. Maybe for the next podcast I'll show you.
Oh, that beautiful shawl. That was gorgeous. I don't know the name of it.
I could find it on my phone, but it was lovely. We'll show that the next time.
That was another beauty. So crocheters.
Actually, no, I'm going to go back and correct myself. The one
that's crocheted.
Yes, but the one that was number 6 in the crocheted patterns was the one from Kathy. It wasn't the one we saw.
Oh, okay.
Mystic Lantern. That was so. That is, if it's a different one. So I'm going to correct myself.
That's okay. But crocheters, we have our eyes out for you too.
Yes, we do love to crochet.
Love to crochet.
And we've said that before. We all crochet in this shop.
Yep.
Everyone crochets.
Absolutely. Anyway, I think that's pretty much a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
So you don't hear from us for 6 weeks, and then you hear from us twice in 1 week. So we hope you're not tired of us. And, it's just fun for, to hear about what we saw. What we thought was interesting, and not everyone gets to go to Rhinebeck, so that's our
take, and hopefully you feel like you were there. All right, thanks for watching.
Happy knitting.
Bye for now.